Hello and welcome to Rathod's IS. Today in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 13th July 2023. So as you know, current affairs plays a very important role. So don't ignore current affairs. Try to follow one national newspaper daily and The Hindu is the best. So first of all, let me give you a small brief introduction regarding the topics that we are going to discuss in this lecture. So first topic it is about South China Sea tensions. So you have to know exactly the location of South China Sea. And in South China Sea, the issues are because of China presence. China, which is sharing border with the South China Sea, and it came up with building of artificial islands in the South China Sea, and it is claiming the territory in this South China Sea. And this South China Sea, it is very important for the trade, world trade. And there are disputes with China and other countries which are sharing boundary with this South China Sea regarding these islands. So those islands are Parcel Islands, Spratly Islands, Scarborough Islands. So recently one meeting which held in Philippines. So here we have to know about India-Philippines relations and what are the key highlights of that meet, and even we have to know some important facts regarding Philippines. So this is very important. So this topic is important from your international relations, which comes in a GS paper too. And next topic it is about weakening autonomy. So this article which talked about Supreme Court directions regarding ED tenure. So yesterday we discussed about introduction regarding the topic, and now in this video we are going to see in detail analysis regarding weakening of autonomy of Enforcement Directorate. So this topic is important from your polity, which comes in a GS paper too. And next topic it is about partial app bans. So if you are from Jammu and Kashmir, you might know about internet shutdowns. There is no working of internet. So not only in Jammu and Kashmir, in many areas in our country, so whenever there is disturbance in law and order, so government has an option. That option is internet shutdown. So whenever there is internet shutdown, so there will be no working of apps, right? So because of this, your government can control the transmission of information. So now this article says that rather than shutting down of internet completely, we can ban certain apps which are used by the people to transfer or to transmit information. So in this context, try which plays an important role. So that thing we have to think about. So why we have to ban certain apps rather than internet shutdown? So internet is very useful for education purpose and as well as trade purpose. For everything we are using internet now. So whenever there is internet shutdown, so it will be having impact on economy of our country as well. So because of that, rather than internet shutdown completely, we can go for banning of certain apps. So it is a good idea actually. So this topic is important from governance point of view, which comes in a GS paper too. And next topic it is about National Research Foundation. I think, do you know about this National Education Policy? So National Education Policy proposed for the establishment of this National Research Foundation. So here in this context you have to know about what is this National Research Foundation. And this topic is important from your education point of view, which comes in a GS paper too. And next topic it is about June inflation. So inflation is nothing but increasing of prices of goods and services in the market. So we have a certain limit of maintenance of inflation. So RBI need to maintain inflation within certain limits. That limit is 4 plus or minus 2. That means 2 to 6%. But from this COVID-19 onwards, we are seeing there is inflation which is above the target of 6%, that is maximum level. So because of this, yes, we need to take some steps. And at present, we have to think about what are the reasons for this retail price inflation now. So if you go to market, so now the cost of tomato, it is varying from 150 rupees to 200 rupees. And even oil price is also increased. That is crude oil price. So because of all these things, now we can see there is retail price inflation. And this topic is important from economy, which comes under GS paper 3. And next topic it is about United Nations Human Rights Council. So Pakistan came up with a resolution regarding the Quran. Quran is a holy book, right? So here this resolution India also voted. So here you have to know some facts regarding United Nations Human Rights Council and whether India voted against or not. So this topic is important from international relations. So why we need to think India voted against or not? Because so this resolution has been passed by Pakistan, and Pakistan and India, they are not friendly nations. So because of this we need to think about this. And next topic is about IMF, that is in International Monetary Fund. So as you all know that Bretton Woods twins, that is nothing but World Bank and IMF. So IMF will be helping the countries which are facing balance of payment crisis. So Pakistan is one such country now which is facing this balance of payment crisis. So not only Pakistan, even Sri Lanka is also facing this problem. So Pakistan approached IMF for the help, and now here Pakistan and IMF, they came up with standby agreement. So this topic is important from your economy point of view, and in this topic you have to think why Pakistan went into balance of payment crisis. So because we can learn from the history. So if you understand that if India is also going towards that situation means, so we have to think how can we address that type of situation. So for all these things, yes, we have to understand why Pakistan faced this situation now. So these are the topics that we are going to discuss, and apart from this there are other topics which are also relevant from UPSC point of view, and those topics I will be showing you in the PDF. Okay, and if you want to get this PDF of this class, you can join the Telegram channel, link is given in the description box, and you can get the PDF with a free of cost. There is no need of any payment. So now let us see the first topic. The title says that quiet diplomacy could ease South China Sea tensions. So yes, if you see, we already know that in South China Sea there are some issues with China. China is facing issues, or China is creating issues with the other countries regarding the South China Sea, because it came up with 9-dash line, and it came up with building of artificial islands, and it is claiming the territory in the South China Sea. So why it is claiming the territory? So if you see this is the country, for example, and if this is the water or the sea, and according to UNCLOS, United Nations Law of Convention of Seas, okay, UNCLOS, it says that till 200 nautical miles, so this area which comes under the jurisdiction of this country. So because of this, for example, this is the South China Sea here, so it is China started building some artificial islands in this area, and it is saying that so till 200 nautical miles of this islands also it comes in the jurisdiction of China. So whenever this area which comes in the jurisdiction of China, it will limit the movement of ships, movement of carriers, etc. So this South China Sea is very important for trade, world trade. Okay, so this is the issue actually. So now let us try to see this topic in detail, and let us see what is the role of this meet. Okay, so what are the key features or key things that are discussed in this meet? So if you are talking about this article which says that the leaders of Association of Southeast Asian Nations, that is nothing but ASEAN. So leaders of ASEAN, they need greater understanding among themselves if they want to convey a crucial political message to China. So actually China is not part of this ASEAN, right? So we have 10 nations which are part, 10 member nations. Okay, so it is an organization of 10 member nations. So let me know which are the members of this ASEAN in the comment box. I am not getting the answers from you people, so please try to give the answer so that it will be helpful for you itself at the end of the day. So here it is a 10 member nation actually. Okay, so here the leaders of this ASEAN, they need greater understanding among themselves if they want to convey a crucial political message to China. So China, it is creating problem in the South China Sea, and some of these Asian nations, they are sharing the boundary with the South China Sea. So because of this nation's leaders, they need to come together and they need to teach a lesson to China. So this is the idea of this article. So why this is a news? Recently we had 5th Joint Commission on Bilateral Cooperation meeting which held between India and as well as Philippines. So between India and Philippines we had a recent meet. So in this meet, so we are mainly focusing on defense cooperation and we are focusing on maritime security. Maritime means nothing but in water. Continental means on land. So in international relations, you will be coming across 2 words, that is continental and next one is maritime. So continental means on land, maritime means on seas or on water. So in water also we are focusing on security. So why we are focusing on maritime security? So maritime security is very important because this is the land and this is the water. India is sharing a large coastline with Indian Ocean, and even so we have access to the different seas, right? So because of this, maritime security is also very, very important. So if you're talking about Philippines, the map of Philippines, so here we have this Philippines. So this part is our Philippines and this is the South China Sea. And if you see the countries which are sharing the boundary with the South China Sea, we have China, and here we have Taiwan, and here we have Vietnam, Philippines, like Indonesia, and here if you see the things here you can see Malaysia, right? Here you can see Sumatra, and here if you see the water bodies, here we have South China Sea, here we have Philippine Sea, and here there is one strait which is connected South China Sea with this Philippine Sea, that is Luzon Strait, and here we have Sulu Sea, here we have Celebes Sea, and here we have Gulf of Thailand, here we have Java Sea. So these are the water bodies that are present nearby the South China Sea. So this is the thing that you have to know regarding the map based. And if you see the highlights of this meet, so we are focusing on defense cooperation, the first one. So here both the sides, from the Indian side and from the Philippine side, so they expressed a key interest to continue to work together regarding defense cooperation. And we are going to focus on defense agencies. Okay, so this is the thing, the first thing. And next one is we are focusing on maritime security. So here both the countries, that is India and Philippines, they aim to cooperate on maritime domain awareness, and they want to come up with joint patrols, and they want to come up with information exchange as well. And they are also focusing on cyber security. So recently there are increased number of cyber security threats. So because of this, here we need to focus on cyber security as well. Like we have to focus on anti-terrorism measures and intelligence exchange, and we have to focus on cyber security, artificial intelligence, space cooperation, etc. And even we are going to have a look on regional and as well as international issues as well. Okay, for example, China's growing aggressiveness or assertiveness, and even China came up with the increasing of territorial claims in the South China Sea. So these are some key highlights of this meet. And if you see some facts regarding Philippines, so Philippines, it is an archipelago. Archipelago means nothing but small islands. There are many islands, they are present together, that is called as archipelago. So this archipelago, which is located in the South China Sea region, and it is present in the Southeast Asian part. And if you are talking about islands, there are about 7,641 islands are present, and we have Luzon and as well as Mindanao, which is the largest, and capital city of Philippines is Manila. And if you're talking about the highest peak and active volcano, so highest peak is Mount Apo, which is located on this Mindanao island, and it is also the volcanic island. And here the Philippines, which has tropical climate, and we are having high temperatures and humidity which is present around the year, and it also experiences wet and dry seasons. Okay, and even it is one of the world's biodiversity hotspot as well. And one more interesting fact here is, so this Philippines, which also the part of Pacific Ring of Fire. So because of this Pacific Ring of Fire, we can see active volcanoes are present. And if you're talking about active volcanoes, there are more than 20 active volcanoes in the Philippines. So recently erupted here is Mount Mayon and Tal and Mount Pinatubo, which erupted in year 1991. So actually there are prelims questions and mains questions which asked from this area. So first one here is consider the following countries, and they gave the countries and they asked which are the free trade partners with ASEAN. So please let me know the answer in the comment box whether it is option A, B, C or D. And in 2016 one mains question which asked here, that is evaluate the economic and strategic dimensions of India's low-caste policy in the context of post-Cold War international scenario. So in this way also you can expect a question from this area. So be prepared and try to write answer for this question, and after writing you can post that answer in the comment box so that there will be evaluation as well. And the next topic here is weakening autonomy. So this article which is focusing on enforcement directorate. So now let us try to see this topic in detail, and already in yesterday's lecture we discussed introduction. Okay, so if you have missed yesterday's lecture, so please go and watch yesterday's lecture as well. So if you see context, it says that the Supreme Court has said that the third extension to the present Enforcement Directorate chief was illegal. So the present Enforcement Directorate chief is Mishra. So he came up with third extension of his tenure. So now Supreme Court said that this is illegal, and even it is violation of judgment of 2021. But here court said that you can continue in office till July 31st. Actually this tenure it is till November 30, but now Supreme Court said that you can continue till July 31st, not till November 30. You have to go for smooth transfer. So what is the case which is before our Supreme Court? So actually the present ED chief was first appointed as ED in 2018. So the fixed period for this ED is 2 years. But what happened before the end of his tenure, our president modified the previous order retrospectively and he changed the tenure to 3 years. And in November 2021, Supreme Court upheld the extension of this tenure which granted to ED, which is beyond 2 years. Now it is 3 years, right? So in December 2021, Parliament passed 2 bills, that is CVC, that is Central Vigilance Commission Amendment Bill, and as well as Delhi Special Police Establishment Amendment Bill. So these bill which had said that after the tenure of this ED and CBI, so they can go for 3 year mandate, and they can go for extension for 3 times. So under this amended law, he got an extension from November 2021 to 2022, and later on he again used this third extension till November 2023, and this has been challenged before Supreme Court. So what Supreme Court said? Supreme Court said that ED has to resign by July 31st, and Supreme Court also said that there is a need of smooth transition of responsibilities to his successor. And regarding the amendments to this Central Vigilance Commission Act and as well as Delhi Special Police Establishment Act, Supreme Court upheld the constitutional amendments which made to this act. Okay, and if you're talking about this enactment which struck down only on 2 grounds, so one is whenever the legislature does not have competence to make the law, and next one is whenever it is taken away or abridges the fundamental rights, then in that areas, in that 2 cases, we can go for struck down of legislation, that is law. So now let's try to see the next topic. It is about partial app bans. So this article is also very important. So in the last week, TRAI, that is Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, sought inputs on whether it would be possible to ban the selective apps or not. So there are some apps which are used by the people for the transmission of information, for the spreading of message, right? So at that time, whenever we are seeing there is a problem of law and order, rather than complete shutdown of internet, we can go for shutdown of certain apps. So this is the thing. And if you see details, internet shutdowns, they are imposed in states and as well as districts across India from time to time in order to prevent the rapid spread of provocative content during the communally charged periods. So here in the states and even in some districts and union territories, so we are going for shutting down of internet. So why it is to be, why, what's the reason here is, so we need to stop the spread of information. Okay, so if that information is creating violence, so here what happened, that will lead to law and order problem. So because of this, rather than shutting down of internet, we can go for shutting down of certain apps. So Indian government considers internet shutdowns a legitimate tool for the maintaining of law and order. So for the maintaining of law and order, now here Indian government is focusing on maintaining internet shutdowns. So whenever we are going for the shutdowns, this internet shutdowns, so we can see there will be negative impact on education, negative impact on work, banking, and information will be strained, etc. So as such, here the government has sought to stay the course on imposing restriction but not the scale of shutdown. So we are just going for the restrictions. And if you're talking about how would try move work, so the approach which is suggested by this try, that would require telecom operators and as well as messaging apps like WhatsApp, so they can be shut down. Okay, they can be restricted. So whenever this messaging apps are restricted, then what happen, automatically there will be decreasing of spread of information. So we can prevent the spread of information, we can create peace in the society or in the community. So this is about this topic. And now let us see next topic. It is about National Research Foundation. So this title says that what exactly is this National Research Foundation, and this topic is important from GS paper 2 under education. So we're talking about the context. It says that recently Union Cabinet has approved the introduction of National Research Foundation bill in Parliament. So here our Union Cabinet, it is going to introduce this National Research Foundation bill in Parliament and placing once again the debate on science and technology funding in the spotlight. So whenever we are introducing this National Research Foundation here, so there will be the number of questions will be raised in the House regarding the science and technology funding in the spotlight. So if you're talking about details, it says that setting up of this National Research Foundation, it was one of the key recommendations of National Education Policy. So National Education Policy came up with some key recommendations, okay, that mainly comes under this NRF. So NRF, which intends to act as coordinating agency, and this is a coordinating agency between researchers, various government bodies and industry, and in this way it will bring this industry into the mainstream of research. So if you're talking about this National Research Foundation, so in addition to providing research grants to individuals, so here this NRF, National Research Foundation, which plays to seed, which plays to grow, which plays to facilitate the research in India's universities, especially we are focusing on even state universities by funding research infrastructure as well as researchers. So if you're talking about the objectives of this National Research Foundation, so what are the important objectives? So as you all know that NEP, that is National Education Policy, proposed this creation or establishment of this National Research Foundation. So if you're talking about objectives, the first one is we are focusing on scientific research. So first one is scientific research, and next one is it is also expecting that there will be the greater participation of private sector as well, and will be also focusing on creating a policy framework, and it will be also creating in place regulatory purposes as well, and we can focus on encouraging the collaboration and increase spending by industry. So here this National Research Foundation, which also having other aims. The aims are, the first one is, it mainly says that it will also include the colleges, universities in scientific research, as currently less than 1% of nearly 40,000 higher learning institutions, they are engaged in the research. So here the improvement, so what we are going to think that, so there will be improvement in the colleges, there will be improvement in the universities regarding the scientific research, and at present there are about 40,000 higher learning institutions, they are engaged in research in India. And next one here is this National Research Foundation, which also plans to build research capacities or research capabilities in universities, and they are going to encourage active researchers, okay, regardless of age, and collaborate with existing faculty. Okay, so this is about this National Research Foundation objective. So why we need this now? So currently, if you see, there is a major disparity in funding of research institutes, and according to Department of Science and Technology, about 65% of the funds from this SERB had been considered, had been cornered by IITs. Okay, so here if you are talking about research, so research will be done by normally IITs, but not all the institutions. And institutions like, for example, IITs, they take up major chunk of funding because of their infrastructure, because of their rankings, etc. And there is no much research happening in other universities, including in the state level. In the state level universities also, there is no proper training, and which going unnoticed because they are not receiving any required financial help. So this is also one important reason. And now let us try to see the next topic. It is about June inflation. June inflation quickens for 0.8 percentage. So this article is very important, and you have to understand what are the reasons behind this. So if you see the context, it says that food price inflation increases. If you are comparing with the last month, it was 3, and now it is 4.5 percentage. That is almost 50 percentage of increasing of inflation. So if you see the previous month, this inflation is due to the rising cost of items like cereals, pulses, and tomatoes, etc. So here retail inflation, which hardened in June to a 3-month high of 4.81, and maize here is 4.31. Okay, so because of increasing of cost of cereals, cost of pulses, milk, and as well as tomatoes. So food price inflation, which quickened to 4.5 percentage, and it is much less than, okay, it is much less than when they are comparing with the previous month. So if you see here, RBI's upper tolerance threshold of 6 percentage, but economists, they opine that ongoing upturn in vegetables prices and flooding is also one important reason. So why there is some increasing of food prices? Because of flooding. Because of flooding, the crops will be failed, and because of increasing of vegetable prices and international market, there is increasing of cost of crude oil. So factors that are contributing to inflation, the first one is, we can divide them into local factors, and second one is foreign factors. So if we're talking about the local factors, there is rise in the domestic food prices, which is mainly because of local factors. So here we are seeing that there is a poor rainfall in this monsoon. So monsoon is not even, so we can see the dry patches of rainfall that is seen, and too much of rainfall in this winter, sorry, in this winter season, that is in the mid-November, but till mid-November, till the winter season. So we are going to expect the good rains in the northern part of our country, and because of this heavy rainfall, even there is a landslips that happened in this northern part of our country, and even there is reduced kharif sowings. It is also an important reason. And standing crop at maturity, harvesting stage, there is a damage that is seen. So because of all these reasons, we can see there is increasing of prices. And if you say second part, there is a foreign factors. Since India imports most of this edible oil, most of this crude oil, there is increased price of this crude oil and edible oil. So because of this, that is also an important reason for increasing of price of goods and services in the market. And next topic, it is about United Nations Human Rights Council. So in Human Rights Council, India stands against this desecration of Quran. So desecration means nothing but when we are seeing one thing as a sacred, that is called as desecration. So this topic is important from international relations, which comes in the GS paper 2. So if we're talking about context, says that India voted in favor of a draft resolution which is tabled in United Nations Human Rights Council, and this condemns and this strongly rejects recent public and premeditated acts of desecration of Quran. So if you see details, it says that Geneva-based 47-member United Nations Human Rights Council, they adopted the first draft resolution. So this is regarding the countering religious hatred constituting incitement to discrimination, hostility or violence. And out of this, about 28 members they voted in favor and 12 mainly voted against. So India voted in favor of the resolution that condemns and strongly rejects the recent public and premeditated acts of desecration of Holy Quran. And even it also underscores the need for the holding the perpetrators of these acts of religious hatred to account. So actually here if you see, India voted in the favor. So this is one thing that we have to think, because Pakistan is not a friendly nation for India. So even though here this resolution which came up by this Pakistan, India voted in the favor, right? So India voted in the favor of this resolution, and even other countries they also voted in the favor. Some of those countries like Bangladesh, China, Cuba, Malaysia, Maldives, Pakistan, Qatar and Ukraine and UAE. So the nations which voted against, so these nations include Belgium, Finland, France, Germany, UK and US. So the draft resolution was brought up by Pakistan on behalf of the states members of United Nations. Okay, so this is about this topic, and now let's try to see some facts regarding United Nations Human Rights Council. So this council, which was created by United Nations General Assembly in 2006, and it is replaced replaced the former United Nations Commission on High and Human Rights. So this Office of High Commissioner for Human Rights, which serves as a secretariat as well. So where is the headquarter located? Headquarter located in Geneva, Switzerland. So we're talking about the members. So it is made up of 47 members, and United Nations General Assembly, which takes into account the candidate states. Okay, and even the council membership is based on equitable geographical distribution. For example, Africa, which has 13 seats, Asia Pacific, which has 13 seats, Latin America and Caribbean states is 8 seats, and here Western Europe and other states 7 seats, and Eastern European states they have 6 seats. So now let us try to see the next topic. It is about Pakistan's gets final IMF nod for $3 billion loan. So Pakistan is going to get $3 billion loan from this IMF soon. So now let us try to see this topic in detail. So if you see the context, it says that in a relief to cash-strapped Pakistan, that means here this Pakistan is facing economic crisis now. So IMF gave final nod to $3 billion standby agreement for the country to support government efforts to stabilize the ailing economy of Pakistan. So if we're talking about details, it says that the Executive Board of International Monetary Fund, which approved 9 months standby agreement. Okay, that is nothing but SBA, standby agreement. So for Pakistan, here amount that the special drawing rights like $250 million or 111% of quota, which is going to be given to support the economic stabilization program. And the development which came after Pakistan, which received $2 billion from Saudi and $1 billion from UAE as per the conditions of the fund. So Pakistan, which has been struggling to get IMF support for its ailing economy, and here Pakistan also believed that new loan will improve the country's forex reserves. So finally it went and applied for the things, and finally it is going to get this IMF fund. So we're talking about what are the reasons for this Pakistan economic crisis. Yes, the first and the foremost thing here is catastrophic floods which happened in Pakistan in 2002, and there is also increasing of international commodity prices because of Russia-Ukraine invasion. And next one is national inflation rate, which reached a high record of 38% in the May. And additionally, we can also see this devaluation of Pakistan rupee. So all these reasons that led to increasing of debt on this Sri Lanka. So on this Pakistan, even on the Sri Lanka also, it is facing some issues because of the debt trap of Sri Lanka because of developmental projects which are developed by China. Okay, but here in the Pakistan, because of the floods and because of this increasing of international commodity prices and because of this inflation and because of this devaluation of Pakistani rupee, so all these reasons that led to the financial crisis or economic crisis of Pakistan. And if you see country news, I came up with Pakistan, and if you see the different provinces in Pakistan, here we have Balochistan, here we have Sindh, here we have Punjab, here we have Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, here we have Gilgit Baltistan. Actually, this Gilgit Baltistan, this part which comes as an integral part of India, but now it is under control of administration of Pakistan. So if you see the different countries which are sharing boundary with Pakistan, here we have India, here we have China, but here Tajikistan, which is not sharing the boundary, here we have Afghanistan, here we have Iran, and below this Pakistan, here we have Arabian Sea. So this is about this topic, and these are some important articles that appear in our today's Hindu newspaper. So one thing I want to say is, so if you are weak in mains answer writing, so mains answer writing practice is very important to clear this UPSC. And if you're getting good marks in mains, so no one will be stopping you to see your name in the final list. So you have to focus on mains, because students is just qualifying paper, and in interview if you're not doing well also. So if you're doing well in mains, yes, it is very easy to clear this UPSC. So here we in Rathod Science, we launched this daily answer writing practice program. So this is a 1-year program, or you can opt for 6 months also. So we are going to give you the detailed schedule for next 1 year, and based on that daily one question is given. So there will be evaluation of your answer, and we are going to give you the model answer for the so and so question, and there will be live class on every Sunday, and we are also providing you the one-to-one mentorship regarding this answer writing. So if you have any doubts regarding that course, and if you want to enroll that course, you can call me on this number 8074765513, and you can talk to me directly regarding that course. Okay, so that will be the 100% useful course, so you can join that course. And now let us try to see today's Hindu newspaper PDF. So this is our today's Hindu newspaper PDF. Date is July 13 and today is Thursday. So first topic is about inflation, that is especially food price inflation or food inflation. So I discussed that topic. And next one is big ticket defense deals likely during PM's visit to Paris. This article is talking about India-France relations. So already I said that we are going to have some agreement with France, and this is regarding Scorpions, Rafales, etc. Some equipment which is important for maintaining of India's security. And if you move forward, you can leave the city page. In this states page, you can see ISKCON punishes monk for inappropriate remarks about Swami Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Paramhamsa. So Swami Vivekananda and Ramakrishna Paramhamsa, they are very important, and you can see some facts regarding the Swami Vivekananda and what is his Ramakrishna mission. And if you move forward in this editorial page, so there is an article regarding colonial plot, that is about the retrospective justice for colonialism. So if you have time, you can go through this article. And next topic, it is about ED and CBI tenure. So I discussed this topic regarding amendment to the tenure of ED and the CBI, and I discussed this topic regarding South China Sea. And here you can see there is an article regarding Netherlands. Netherlands is facing some economic challenges, so you have to see that once. And here in this opinion page, you can see CPI basket. So here you have to understand what is consumer price index, the CPI. And in this textual context, I discussed about this partial app bans. I discussed about this National Research Foundation. And if you move forward in the news page, you can see this article, that is NHRC, that is National Human Rights Council seeks reports on rail accident victims. And this United Nations Human Rights Council vote India stands against desecration of Quran. I discussed this topic. And if you move forward, here in this page number 12, you can see this article, that is President hails unity in diversity tolerance. Go to this article once. And next topic is Supreme Court gets 2 new judges. So here you have to see about this appointment of judges process, collegium, etc. And in this world page you can see this article that is about Pakistan gets final IMF nod for $3 billion loan in standby agreement. So I discuss this topic. And on the business page you can see this topic. Title says IIP rises 5.2 percentage led by infrastructure. So here you have to see what is IIP. IIP is nothing but index of industrial production. So it mainly talks about how there is increase in the economy. And actually this article says that mining and manufacturing output increased, and especially because of infrastructure there is increase of index of industrial production. And here the capital goods production growth has increased, and apparel makers, furniture producers, they reported that there is a steepest decline. And pharma output and motor vehicle production, on other hand, they also seen there is a sharp upticks, that means increased. Okay, so there is increasing of growth in capital goods, pharma products, motor vehicles, and there is decrease in the growth of apparels and as well as furniture. So these are some important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. And so go to the articles which I showed in this PDF, that is very important from your UPSC point of view. And one more thing here is, I wish that you are going to join this mains answer writing practice where we can meet on live, and there will be direct one-to-one mentorship, and there will be doubt clearing sessions as well. So if you like this video, please hit the like button and try to share this video to your friends and in some Telegram groups or WhatsApp groups as well. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much, and we are going to meet in the next session. Bye bye.